Going back to high school, when you're 80 years old, that's a long reach back there. But boy, oh boy, there's one thing I do remember with crystal clarity, and that is that it was the time of World War II. And by the time I'm going to pick it up here in the middle of my high school career, coming in, I was a junior, I think, the situation had improved. We were beginning to get the feeling we were going to win that thing. Us, England, the Allies in general, France. But at the same time, we also developed a tremendous prejudice, hate for the Japanese and for the Germans. I don't know if the government worked at it to help us develop those strong feelings deliberately or not, but you got your friends and neighbors, kids, some of them coming home in baskets, some of them not coming home at all. It's pretty easy to have strong feelings. And I know I expected, and I know my older brother Marvin expected without a doubt, get out of high school, be drafted immediately. In Marvin's case, he got out of high school, was most immediately called up for a medical physical to see if he could be called up. And I remember he was so shocked, and my dad and mom, his parents, were so shocked that they declared him 4F, that he had a heart murmur, that they said, no, you're not able to serve. And I don't know just what that was all about, but they found something else, that he had to have some surgery shortly after finding out he was 4F. That's bad enough to be told you got a heart problem and then be told you need surgery too. And, none of us kids had ever had surgery of any kind. Well, I know it worried my parents, worried Marvin. The day came for that surgery, and Dad and Mom went with him into Wichita to be with him until he was out of surgery and into recovery and doing all right. Well, I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but my brother immediately younger than me, Earl, and my baby brother, Wayne, they were over on the east quarter plowing, I think. Might have been spring toothing, but they were doing the farm operation over there. And they were on the way back to the house. And to get there, you kind of had to go a circuitous route, so that you ended up traveling a mile, maybe 2 miles, on the dirt roads. And I have no idea, wasn't there, don't know exactly how or why, but Earl lost control of the car, rolled it, and he was shook up. And of course, farmers usually carrying some gas or some water, and have cans in the car. Wayne got really banged up, cut up. So, they came on to the house, brought it over by the Burfords. The accident was closer to Burford's than to our house. And I can't remember if it was Ed or one of his boys, and of course had no other car now. So they took us on over into Conway Springs to Dr. McElhaney, and some stitches were taken, some bandages put on, and then the boys were back home. That car never did get completely mobile again, as I recall. Dad had had 234 Chevys, believing he could keep one of the two running through the war by cannibalizing the other one that was necessary, and that one ended up, the one that was rolled, being the one that got cannibalized. It maybe was headed the other way before the accident, but it ended up the one that supplied the parts. Well, not long after that, Marvin went in and got a job working in the war effort. And I don't know, 2 or 3 months later, big deal, I was going to get to go to town and visit my brother, stay overnight. And his landlady rolled out a cot. But we turned in, and dang, I got on that bed, and all of a sudden I was itchy all over. Dad, yum. So I jumped out of bed, turned on the light. I'd have sworn there were things crawling on me, and there's not a thing on that bed. So, get back in bed. Turn out the light, get into bed. And this time I'm just sure they're crawling on me. I say, hey, Marvin, get up and turn on the light. Well, he turned on that light, just like that, those bugs are scattering, but you could see them, little tiny devils. But man, can they bite. I ended up walking, I don't know, half a mile or a mile, whatever it was, over to Aunt Arlene's place. The mom's sister that later got to be second mom after my mother died of cancer. Well, I don't remember just how long Marvin worked in the war effort, but he got a little bit of money saved up, not much, and decided to go on over to Kansas State and start college. And if I remember correctly what he told me, he had, I think, less than $100. Seems like $65 is what sticks in my mind. He's arriving and going to register to be a student. I guess we were so unsophisticated he had no idea just how much money you needed. And they said, you know, son, you don't have enough money. We can't enroll you. That was before there was all this financial aid thing and so on. Well, they got to talking, some of the professors apparently, and they said, what's that boy wanted to major in? Well, he said he wanted to maybe be a shop teacher, a VOAG teacher. They said, did he say that back there on their farm that they raise pigs? Yep, got a deal. Call him back in here, and if he's willing to take care of the hogs and sleep in the hog barn, we can let him get started on a college education. And that's how he did it. And I think he took care of those pigs probably all 4 years. But he got his degree and ended up then out at Coffeyville, Kansas as the VOAG teacher. I'm kind of proud of that for my brother being able to do that on a shoestring.